Hello and welcome to the magnificent old library of Guildhall here in the City of London. On our last visit here, we celebrated the 100th edition of Mastermind in Jubilee year. Well, this is another very special occasion. So many countries are now doing their own Mastermind thing that we decided to hold a special challenge round of Mastermind International. And no fewer than 7 champions are taking part, and 5 of these are Mastermind champions in their own right. The Jubilee Mastermind, the UK Mastermind, and Masterminds from Australia, New Zealand, and Nigeria. Our other 2 competitors are quiz winners representing the Republic of Ireland and Canada. So let's start right away with our first champion, please. Your name, please.
Barbara Ann Eddy.
And your championship?
The $128,000 question.
And your specialized subject?
The life and works of William Shakespeare.
Miss Eddy, you have 2 minutes on the life and works of William Shakespeare, starting now. In A Midsummer Night's Dream, what is the title of the play chosen to entertain the Duke and Hippolyta at their nuptials?
Pyramus and his love Thisbe.
That's correct. Who tells the Roman citizens, I am no orator as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man that loved my friend?
Mark Antony.
Correct. Which play begins with the words, who's there?
Hamlet.
Correct. One of the 2 songs at the end of Love's Labour's Lost praises the owl. What bird does the other song praise?
The cuckoo.
Correct. When Macbeth becomes king, how is a banquet prepared in a room of the state and in the palace rudely interrupted?
By the appearance of Banquo's ghost.
Correct. In which street in Stratford-upon-Avon was Shakespeare born?
Henley Street.
Correct. In which village did Anne Hathaway live before Shakespeare married her?
Shottery.
Correct. What was the name of the company of players to which Shakespeare belonged from 1594 onwards?
The Lord Chamberlain's Men.
Correct. In Henry IV, Part 2, what do Fang and Snare want with Falstaff?
They want to arrest him.
Correct. In The 2 Gentlemen of Verona, Julia is beloved of Proteus. Who is beloved of Valentine?
Sylvia.
Correct. In The Winter's Tale, when Antigonus leaves a baby predator on the Bohemian seashore, he leaves in a hurry. Why?
He is pursued by a bear.
Correct. What was Othello's first gift to his wife that was stolen and used by Iago as evidence of Desdemona's unfaithfulness?
A handkerchief.
Correct. In Richard III, how did Richard, Duke of Gloucester, demonstrate his piety when the Lord Mayor and citizens were persuaded to ask him to be king?
He appeared on a balcony with 2 bishops with him.
And read from a book of prayer. Correct. Who prepared for her death with the words, give me my robe, put on my crown, I have immortal longings in
Cleopatra.
Me. Correct. In which play are the guests at a banquet entertained by Cupid and a mask of ladies as Amazons with lutes in their hands, dancing and playing?
Timon of Athens.
Correct. Which play begins with a funeral in Westminster Abbey?
Henry VI, Part 1.
Correct. In The Merchant of Venice, what does Bassanio find in the leaden casket besides a scroll telling him of his good fortune?
He finds a picture of Portia.
Correct. According to the soothsayer, I've started so I'll finish. According to the soothsayer in Cymbeline, what is the name of the lion's whelp who will bring peace and plenty to Britain?
Of the lion's whelp? Posthumus Leonatus.
Is correct. And at the end of that round, Miss Eddy, you have scored 18 points and no passes. Thank you very much. May we have our second champion, please? Your name, please?
Godwin Anaba.
And your championship?
Nigeria Mastermind.
And your chosen subject?
Egypt and the Sudan, 1790-1908.
Mr. Anaba, you have 2 minutes on Egypt and the Sudan, 1790 to 1908, starting now. Who was the Frenchman responsible for the construction of the Suez Canal?
Ferdinand de Lesseps.
Correct. What's the name of the Sudanese town where General Gordon was killed?
Khartoum.
Correct. Before which battle did Napoleon tell his soldiers, 40 centuries behold you?
The Battle of the Pyramids.
Correct. How did Britain, through Disraeli, acquire an interest in the Suez Canal Company?
By buying shares.
Correct, the Khedive shares. In October 1798, what was the stronghold of the rebels in the Cairo insurrection?
Pass.
Britain was one of the countries concerned in the dual control of Egypt in the 1870s.
France.
Which was the other country?
France.
Correct. What's the name given to the stone discovered by a French officer which provided the key to the long-forgotten language of ancient Egypt?
Pass.
Egypt was ruled for nearly 40 years by a man born in the small seaport of Kavala in 1769. Who was he?
Muhammad Ali.
Correct. Whose death, 2 months before the landing of the British military expedition in 1807, ensured its failure?
Pass.
What was the important industry that was founded by Muhammad Ali with the help of Maho Bey and Monsieur Jumel?
The sugarcane industry.
No, it was cotton. Which group of people were massacred on the occasion of investing Muhammad Ali's son with the command of the expedition to Arabia?
The Mamluks.
Correct. How did Ismail, son of Muhammad Ali, meet his death?
He was burnt in
Correct, during
Sudan.
a feast. What was the original name of Suleiman Bey, who created Muhammad Ali's army before he was converted to Islam?
Serves.
Correct. What is the name of the battle fought on 24th June 1839 in which the Egyptians broke the might of the Ottoman Empire?
The Battle of Syria.
No, Nazib. The campaign against the Wahhabis led to the submission of Arabia and the conquering of the Sudan. Who were the Wahhabis?
The Wahhabis were a group of fanatical...
Correct. Muhammad Ali achieved his life's ambition in May 1841. What was it?
he was given hereditary suzerainty of
Correct.
Egypt.
Who became Khedive of Egypt? And you may answer. Who became Khedive of Egypt in 1867?
Ismail.
The Magnificent is correct. And at the end of that round, Mr. Anaba, you have scored 12 points. You passed on 3. In October 1798, the stronghold of the rebels in the Cairo insurrection was the Mosque of Al-Azhar. The name given to the stone discovered by a French officer that provided the key to the old language of ancient Egypt is the Rosetta Stone. And the man whose death 2 months before the landing of the British military expedition in 1807 ensured its failure was Alfie Bey, or Al-Alfie. Thank you very much, Mr. Anaba. And our third champion, please. Your name, please.
John Bond,
And your championship.
Australian Mastermind of 1978.
And your chosen specialised subject.
The history of Australian bushranging.
Mr. Bond, you have 2 minutes on the history of Australian bushranging, starting now. What was the name of the policeman shot by John Dunn at Collector on 26 January 1865?
Nelson.
Correct. Which bushranger is said to have provided the police with a hearty breakfast after he was captured in 1870?
Harry Power.
Correct. In which jail was Andrew George Scott, alias Captain Moonlight, hanged?
Darlinghurst.
Correct. John Sadlier, in his recollections, said that the Kelly gang stopped using horses after March 1879. What reason did he give?
Pass.
He was decorated with curious tattoos, and members of his gang wore gaudy clothes and tied pink ribbons to their horses' bridles. Who was he?
Davis the Jew boy.
Correct. The Tasmanian Aboriginal bushranger Mosquito won himself 3 somewhat romantic nicknames. Name one of them.
Pass.
What novel, published in London in 1929 under the pseudonym of Giacomo di Rosenberg, deals with bushrangers in the Sydney area in the years 1825 to 44?
Pass.
In which year was Matthew Brady hanged?
1826.
Correct. Who was the bushranger who said, "I never molest a woman, I never beg, but I do rob, I was driven to it"?
Thunderbolt.
Correct. Which New South Wales town was named after a Crown Lands Commissioner killed by bushrangers in December 1866?
Grenfell.
Correct. Specifically, how did Frank McCallum, alias Captain Melville, meet his end?
Strangled.
Correct. One bushranger once had a price of 5 gallons of rum on his head. Who was he?
Black Caesar.
Correct. A Sydney pipe maker fashioned a line of clay pipes with a bowl moulded to resemble a notorious bushranger who had died in 1830. Who was the bushranger?
Donahue.
Correct. Who wrote a 5-act play called The Bushrangers, which was published in Sydney in 1853?
Pass.
Which bushranger was known for years after his death as a traveller's friend?
Morgan.
Correct. He was 16 years old when he was shot and captured by police at Millie near Moree in 1865. Who was he?
Mason.
No, it was John Thompson. Mason joined him later. Name one of the 3 bushrangers whom Sir Frederick Pottinger failed to recognise at a race meeting in January 1865.
Ben Hall.
Correct. In which Irish town was Martin Cash born?
Enniscorthy.
Enniscorthy in County Wexford is correct. And at the end of that round, Mr. Bond, you have scored 13 points. You passed on 4. The reason why the Kelly gang were said to have stopped using horses in 1879 was that they were afraid of black trackers. And the Tasmanian Aboriginal bushranger Mosquito was known as the Black Spartacus, the Black Mosquito, or The Black Napoleon, or King Mosquito. The novel published in 1929 about bushrangers in the Sydney area was The Adventures of Ralph Rashley, and the author of the 5-act play called The Bushrangers was Charles Harper. Mr. Bond, thank you very much. Can we have our fourth champion, please? Your name, please.
Mark Allan,
And your championship.
New Zealand Mastermind.
And your chosen subject.
The history of rock music since 1955.
Mr. Allan, you have 2 minutes on the history of rock music since 1955, starting now. Which American disc jockey is credited with coining the phrase rock and roll?
Alan Freed.
Correct. What was the connection between Bill Haley and Blackboard Jungle?
He provided the theme music for the film.
Correct. What tragedy happened to pop music on the 3rd of February 1959?
Buddy Holly died.
Correct. By what name is Stefan Georgiou better known?
Pass.
When exactly did Elton John record his first live album?
11/7/70.
I'll give you that. It's 17/11/70. You were very nearly there. 17th of November 1970. For what special reason did The Who record a version of the Rolling Stones' hit The Last Time in 1967?
The Stones were busted and it was a protest.
Correct. Whose birthday came first? Only 16, Your 16, Sweet Little 16, or 16 Candles?
Sweet Little 16.
Correct. Who sings with the Attractions?
Elvis Costello.
Correct. What was the extraordinary start to a concert given by Sly and the Family Stone at Madison Square Gardens in 1974?
Sly got married.
Correct, on stage. In which film did the character Vince Everett appear?
Pass.
What did the congressman say Eddie Cochran was too young to do in Summertime Blues?
Smoke.
No, to vote. In which film did Ringo Starr appear as Merlin the Magician?
Pass.
Lol Cream and Kevin Godley quit 10cc to develop what electronic musical gadget?
The Gizmo.
Correct. Bob Dylan shocked his fans at the Newport Folk Festival of 1965. Why?
He appeared with an electric band.
Correct. Name the group which comprises these four: Robin Zander, Rick Nielsen, Tom Peterson, and Bunny Carlos.
Cheap Trick.
Correct. Who among Mad Dogs and Englishmen was dubbed the Master of Space and Time?
Leon Russell.
Correct. Which lead guitarist of a British group holds a BSc in physics and PhD in astronomy?
Gilmore.
No, Brian May of Queen. Who sang with the Dominoes and then formed the Drifters?
Clyde McPhatter.
Correct. In what circumstances did Beatle George Harrison adopt the pseudonym, and I'll finish, adopt the pseudonym L'Angelo Misterioso?
To appear on somebody else's album.
That is right. Can you tell me which album it was? I must have that.
Pass.
Well, it was, in fact, when he played rhythm guitar on a track from the Cream album, Goodbye Cream, which he wrote with Eric Clapton. He couldn't acknowledge it because of contractual reasons, and at the end of that round, Mr. Allan, you have scored 13 points. You passed on 3. Stefan Georgiou, and I hope I didn't put you off my pronunciation, is better known as Cat Stevens. The film in which the character Vince Everett appeared was Jailhouse Rock. It was played by Elvis Presley. And the film in which Ringo Starr appeared as Merlin the Magician was Son of Dracula. Mr. Allan, thank you very much. And our 5th champion, please. Your name, please.
Rosemary James,
Your championship
United Kingdom Mastermind, 1978.
and your specialized subject.
The Mythology of the Norsemen.
Ms. James, you have 2 minutes on the mythology of the Norsemen starting now. What was the name of the 8-footed grey horse that was Odin's favourite steed?
Sleipnir.
Correct. Most of the time the dwarves dwelt underground. What happened to them in the sunlight?
They turned to stone.
Correct. Odin was the owner of 2 ravens. Name one of them.
Hugi.
Correct. What's the name of the god who's called Lord of Goats?
Heimdall.
No, it was Thor. What was the name of the blind god who unwittingly caused Baldur's death?
Hodor.
Correct. Whose chariot was drawn by cats?
Freyja's.
Correct. In early Norse sources, what are the chief functions allotted to the Valkyries?
They collect the dead from the battlefield.
Correct. Odin never ate. What did he live on?
Mead.
No, it was wine, actually. I won't accept that. Who kills the wolf Fenrir at the Doom of the Gods?
Tyr.
No, it was Vidar. Which god could be called by any and all of these names? Winter god, ski god, bow god, hunting god, and shield god.
Ull.
Correct. What physical characteristics of Balder has caused flowers such as the ox-eye daisy and corn feverfew to be called Balder's eyelid?
The whiteness of his
Correct.
skin.
What was it that the dwarves made from the blood of Kvasir mixed with honey?
Mead.
Correct. How did it come about that the goddess Siv had her hair made of gold?
Because her original hair was stolen.
By Loki. Correct. What was the name of the divine tribes amongst whom incest was practiced?
The Vanir.
Correct. Why is Thor supposed to have half a whetstone lodged in his skull?
It had been thrown at him by a giant.
Correct. In the myth of the marriage of Frey and Gerður, what is Gerður believed to personify?
Winter.
No, a cornfield. Why does Odin have only one eye?
He gave the other for wisdom.
Correct. What was the name of the giant believed to be Loki's father?
Fireboti.
Correct. What was the name of the seat from which Odin could survey all worlds?
Eidskjalf.
Correct. Who owned the horse called Blow the Hovi, or Bloody Hoofed?
Frey's messenger.
Correct. Who lived at Fensalir?
Thor.
No, it was Frigg, Odin's wife. And at the end of that round, Ms. James, you have scored 16 points and no passes. Thank you very much. And our sixth champion is approaching the chair. Your name, please,
John Mulcahy,
and your championship,
top scorer Ireland 1978,
and your chosen subject.
Irish history 1916 to 1922.
Mr. Mulcahy, you have 2 minutes on Irish history between those dates, starting now. Who was the first woman government minister in Ireland?
Countess Markovich.
Correct. Who was the commander-in-chief of the Irish Volunteers in April 1916 who countermanded the Easter Monday manoeuvres?
Owen MacNeill.
Correct. Which English general was responsible for the suppression of the Easter Rising?
General Maxwell.
Correct. Who was the novelist appointed director of propaganda in 1921 when Desmond Fitzgerald was arrested?
Erskine Childers.
Correct. In front of which building did Pearse read the Proclamation of the Republic on the afternoon of Easter Monday 1916?
The General Post Office.
Correct. Where exactly did Sir Roger Casement land on Good Friday 1916?
In Bannistrand near Trudy.
Correct. What was the slogan in the Longford by-election which won support from McGuinness, then in Lewis Jail?
Put him in to get him out.
Correct. Who on Easter Monday 1916 commanded the 3rd Volunteer Battalion which occupied the Boland's Mill area?
Eamon de Valera.
Correct. Who was de Valera's personal secretary from 1919 for 37 years?
Pass.
When Dáil Éireann first met on 21st January 1916, why did over 30 elected Sinn Féin members not attend? 1919, I beg your pardon. Why did over 30 elected Sinn Féin members not attend?
Because they were in jail.
Correct. Which of these 7 leaders of the Easter Rising rose from his hospital bed to take part?
James Connolly.
No, it was Joseph Plunkett. Who was elected president of Dáil Éireann when de Valera resigned in January 1922?
Arthur Griffith.
Correct. What was the official position of Terence McSweeney, who symbolised resistance with a hunger strike in 1920?
Lord Mayor of Cork.
Correct. Which by-election did de Valera contest in 1917?
East Clare.
Correct. Who was ambushed and killed by the irregulars on 22nd August 1922?
Michael Collins.
Correct. Which of the articles of the League of Nations did de Valera attack during his visit to the United States in 1919 to 20?
Pass.
What was the issue in the Anglo-Irish Treaty of December 1921 that de Valera particularly objected to?
The oath.
Of allegiance. Correct. Which political party took no part in the first Dáil or in elections in 1921 but returned 17 pro-treaty members in 1922?
The Labour Party.
The Labour Party is correct. And at the end of that round, Mr. Mulcahy, you have scored 15 points. You passed on only 2. De Valera's personal secretary from 1919 onwards was Kathleen O'Connell, and the article of the League of Nations which de Valera attacked was Article 10, by which members undertook to preserve the existing territorial boundaries of member states. Thank you very much, Mr. Mulcahy. Now our final champion, please. Your name, please,
David Hunt,
and your championship,
Jubilee Mastermind,
and your chosen subject.
the Roman Revolution between BC 16, AD 14.
So, David, you have 2 minutes on the Roman Revolution between those dates starting now. Who passed a law giving Pompey and Crassus their commands in Spain and Syria in 55 BC?
The people.
The name of the tribune?
Caninius.
No, it was Gaius Trebonius. Whom did Octavian marry in 40 BC and divorce a year later in order to marry Livia?
Scribonia.
Correct. What was the so-called Battle of Bovillae in 52 BC?
Pass.
What was the official ground for Clodius's law exiling Cicero in 58 BC?
Execution of Roman citizens
Correct.
without trial.
By what proposal did Curio seek to reduce tension between Pompey and Caesar in 50 BC?
Proposed both should give up their armies.
Correct. Where was the triumvirate renewed in 37 BC?
Luca.
No, it was at Tarentum, I'm sorry.
Sorry, yeah.
Where did Cato commit suicide?
Utica.
Correct. Why were Cicero's speeches against Antony called Philippics?
After Demosthenes' speech.
Correct. What was the chief cause of the popularity of Tiberius's brother Drusus?
Conquest in the Alps.
No, I have it that it was rumoured he would have restored the Republic. Who was chiefly responsible for driving Sextus Pompeius out of Sicily in 36 BC?
Agrippa.
Correct. Of what city was it rumoured that Antony had given its entire library to Cleopatra?
Pergamon.
Correct. Agrippa was one of the 2 people with whom Augustus shared tribunician power during his reign. Who was the other?
Tiberius.
Correct. Who proposed a decree granting Octavius the name of Augustus?
Munatius Plancus.
Correct. Who was the prefect of Egypt condemned for treason in 27 BC?
Cornelius Gallus.
Correct. Name either of the 2 principal figures in the alleged conspiracy against Augustus in 23 BC.
Murena.
Correct. Whom did Augustus appoint as prefect of the city in 16 BC?
Messala.
No, it was Statilius Taurus. For what decision concerning his grandson Gaius did agitation in 6 BC cause Augustus to rebuke the people?
Pass.
What Gallic city threw down its statues of Tiberius, and I'll finish, in 1 BC?
Lugdunum, or lions.
No, it was Nemausus or Nîmes.
Oh, you're right. Yes,
At the end of that round, Sir David Hunt, you have scored 11 points. But you said it with such confidence that I lost mine. You passed on too, Sir David. The so-called Battle of Bovillae in 52 BC was a brawl on the Appian Way in which Clodius was killed on the orders of Milo. And the decision concerning his grandson Gaius that caused agitation in 6 BC was that he should be made consul at the age of 15, which was much too young. So, David Hunt, thank you very much. Well, that brings us to the end of the first round of specialised subjects, and if we glance at the scoreboard, we'll see that at present, Sir David Hunt has 11, Godwin Anaba has 12, and then lying equal with 13 are John Bond and Mark Allan. In third place with 15 is John Mulcahy, with second place with 16 is Rosemary James, but in the lead by 2 points with 18 from Canada at present is Barbara Ann Eddy. Now with the second round of general knowledge questions with the title still Anybody's at All. And can we have our first champion again, please? Student from Vancouver, winner of the $128,000 question in America, Barbara Ann Eddy, at present in the lead with 18 points. Your general knowledge question starting now. He went from England to Canada as a boy and later achieved fame as a humorist with such works as Literary Lapses and Nonsense Novels. Who was he?
Stephen Leacock.
Correct. In Canada in 1885, the leader of an insurrection was tried and executed in Regina. Who was he?
Louis Riel.
Correct. Where is the Irish sweeps derby run?
The Curragh.
Correct. In British history, which important political union took place in the year 1707?
British history. England and Wales.
No, England, English and Scottish Parliaments united. Which Australian city was devastated by Cyclone Tracy on Christmas Day 1974?
Darwin.
Correct. The Nigerian flag has 3 vertical stripes, green, white, and what's the third?
Black, I believe.
No, it's green again. The New Zealand legislature consists of 1 elected chamber. What's this chamber called?
Pass.
In the Pink Panther films, what's the name of the French police inspector portrayed by Peter Sellers?
Jacques Clouseau.
Correct. Which of the 12 disciples is traditionally regarded as the one to whom Jesus entrusted his mother at the crucifixion?
John.
Correct. In classical mythology, who was the mother of Paris, son of Priam, king of Troy?
Venus.
No, it was Hecuba. Who was the president of the United States of America at the time of the Wall Street crash in 1929?
Calvin Coolidge.
No, it was Herbert Hoover. What name is given to the philosophy that the only thing which is good is pleasure?
Epicureanism.
No, hedonism. Who was the Italian painter and sculptor who died in 1920, whose work was characterized by very elongated figures?
Modigliani.
Correct. Viscount Melbourne was Prime Minister at the start of Queen Victoria's reign. Who was Prime Minister at the end of it?
Disraeli.
No, Salisbury. In his book Roots, Alex Haley traces his ancestry back to which African country?
Guinea.
No, the Gambia. Which popular beverage is obtained from the plant Camellia sinensis?
Tea.
Correct. In chemistry, what does the word valency mean?
Valency.
Valency. And you may answer.
It's a word for a bonding system. Oh dear. I know there are covalent and polyvalent bonds, but I can't define it any further.
I'm absolutely sure you know the answer. It's a combining power of an atom, and I'll give you that point. And at the end of that round, Miss Eddy, your total has gone up to 27 points. You passed on only the one. The New Zealand legislature consists of one elected chamber, and that chamber is called the House of Representatives. Barbara and Eddy, thank you very much. And could we have our second champion again, please? Nigerian mastermind, 21 years old. He is currently studying politics and international politics at Aberystwyth University. Godwin Anaba, with 12 points from his first round, only 27 to beat. Your general knowledge question starting now. When Nigeria achieved independence in 1960, who was their prime minister?
Tafawa Balewa.
Correct. What's the main tributary in Nigeria of the River Niger?
The Benue.
Correct. With what famous product is the Irish town of Waterford particularly associated?
Tin.
No, it's cut crystal or glass. Which New Zealander was one of the first two men to reach the summit of Mount Everest?
Hillary.
Correct. In which Canadian city is McGill University?
Pass.
Born in Sydney, this operatic soprano became famous for her role in Lucia di Lammermoor. Who is she?
Pass.
In October 1978, Her Majesty the Queen attended a ceremony marking the completion of a new Anglican cathedral in England. Where is it?
Cambridge.
No, Liverpool. Who was president of France before Giscard d'Estaing?
George Pompidou.
Correct. What's the breed of the toy dog which was popularized by Charles II?
Pass.
To which goddess was the Parthenon of Athens dedicated?
Diane.
No, it was Athena. The Red Lion and Sun in Iran is part of which international organization?
The Red Cross.
Correct. To which position was the late Albino Luciani elected in August of last year?
Pope.
Correct. What title is conferred on any Mohammedan who has committed the Quran to memory?
Anulema.
No, it's Hafiz. Port Louis is the capital of which Commonwealth country?
Gambia.
No, Mauritius. In Scott's last Antarctic expedition, who sacrificed his life rather than become a liability to his companions?
Pass.
Christopher Columbus was born in or near which Italian city?
Venice.
No, Genoa. Andrew Lloyd Webber wrote the music for Jesus Christ Superstar. Who wrote the lyrics?
Pat Rice. Tim Rice.
Tim Rice, correct. What is the older and more usual name for Hansen's disease?
Pass.
For security reasons, the Middle East peace talks held in Britain in July last year took place in a castle. Which castle was it?
Leeds Castle.
Leeds Castle in Kent is correct. And at the end of that round, Mr. Anaba, your score has gone up to 20 points. You passed on 5. I'll run through them quickly. McGill University is in Montreal. Joan Sutherland is the famous Australian soprano, born in Sydney. The toy dog popularised by Charles II was a King Charles Spaniel. It was Captain Oates who sacrificed his life on Scott's last Antarctic expedition, and the older and more usual name for Hansen's disease is leprosy. Godwin, Anaba, thank you very much. And our third champion again, please. Australian writer, 31 years old, winner of the Australian Mastermind title, John Bond. Scored 13 on the history of Australian bushranging. You have 27 to beat. Your general knowledge question starting now. In the 1950s, Ray Lawler wrote a play about two Australian sugarcane cutters. What's the name of the play?
Summer of the 17th Dog.
Correct. What's the name of the gigantic sandstone monolith in Australia known as the largest pebble in the world?
Ayers Rock.
Correct. Which English county cricket team was captained by W.G. Grace from 1870 to 1899?
Sussex.
No, Gloucestershire. The 10th province joined the Canadian Confederation in 1949. Which is it?
Newfoundland.
Correct. Mount Cook is the highest mountain in the South Island of New Zealand. What's the highest mountain in the North Island?
Mount Egmont.
No, Ruapehu. In May 1967, the eastern region of the Federal Republic of Nigeria seceded and adopted which name?
Biafra.
Correct. Which Irishman was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1969?
Conor Cruise O'Brien.
No, Samuel Beckett. A purse seine is used to catch what?
Pass.
With which musical instrument was the jazz musician Django Reinhardt particularly associated?
Guitar.
Correct. In Greek mythology, what shape did Zeus assume when he abducted Europa to Crete?
The shape of a bull.
Correct. Who's the Prime Minister of Japan?
Mr. Fukuda.
No, it's Mr. Masayoshi Ohira. The collapse of Napoleon's empire ended with the restoration of the French monarchy under which king?
Louis the 14th.
No, the 18th. Who plays the detective Hercule Poirot in the recent film Death on the Nile?
Englishman. Alan Bates.
No, Peter Ustinov. On the northern part of the North American continent, what's the only large territory that's not Canadian?
Alaska.
Correct. Which European country's armed forces are known as the Bundeswehr?
West Germany.
Correct. Negri Sembilan is a state of which federation?
Pass.
What is the literal meaning of the word troglodyte?
Somebody who dwells in caves.
Correct. Prisoners were once given the task of picking oakum. What is oakum?
It's cotton. It's something derived from cotton.
I think I'll accept that. It is in fact loose fibre from old ropes, flax rather than cotton, but I think you were close enough to be given that point. And at the end of that round, Mr. Bond, you have scored 23 points. You passed on two. A purse seine, in fact, is used on fishing boats to catch fish. And Negri Sembilan is a state of Malaysia. Mr. Bond, thank you very much. And our fourth champion, please. Another young mastermind from New Zealand, 21 years old. Relief worker, comes from Dunedin. Mark Allan scored 13 with the history of rock music, 27 to beat. Your general knowledge question starting now. The Maoris call New Zealand's three main islands Aotearoa. What's the meaning of the name?
Land of the Long White Cloud.
Correct. What's the name of the strait which separates the South Island of New Zealand from Stewart Island?
Fovo.
Correct. What office in Nigeria was held by Nnamdi Azikiwe from October 1963 to January 1966?
Pass.
Which Australian city was originally based on a design by Walter Burley Griffin?
Adelaide.
No, Canberra. Regina is the capital of which Canadian province?
New Brunswick.
No, Saskatchewan. At which racecourse in Britain is a Grand National held?
Aintree.
Correct. Which educational institution was founded by charter of Queen Elizabeth in Dublin in 1591?
Queen's College.
No, Trinity College. According to the Bible, who is the wife of Ahab, king of Israel?
Jezebel.
Correct. What was the name of the ship in which Captain Cook set sail for the Pacific in 1768?
Endeavour.
Correct. Who was the architect of the Guggenheim Museum of Art in New York?
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Correct. Luzon and Mindanao are the two largest islands of which Asian republic?
Philippines.
Correct. Poor Judd is a song from which Rodgers and Hammerstein musical?
Pass.
When Cyprus became a republic in August 1960, who was the first president?
Makarios.
Correct. The Roman god Mercury is said to have worn talaria. What were they?
Special slippers.
Winged sandals, I'll accept. What name is given to the Japanese parliament?
The Diet.
Correct. Whom did Miss Farah Diba marry in 1959?
The Shah of Iran.
Correct. What does the expression non sequitur mean?
Doesn't follow.
Correct. In a popular poem about a shooting, whose light of love was the lady that's known as Lou?
Pass.
Mozart's works are often identified by the letter K and a number. What's the K stand for?
Pass.
Cardinal Richelieu became Prime Minister and virtual ruler of France, we'll finish, and virtual ruler of France in 1624. Under which king was it?
Louis XIV.
No, the 13th. And at the end of that round, Mr. Allan, your score has gone up to 25 points. You passed on 4. Mr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was president of Nigeria, of the Republic, from 63 to 66. Poor Judd comes from Oklahoma. The popular poem about a shooting, whose light of love was the lady that's known as Lou, it was Dan McGrew. And the letter K, after Mozart's work, stands for the man who catalogued them, Kirkle. Thank you very much, Mr. Allan. And our 5th champion, please. School teacher from York, United Kingdom Mastermind of 1978, Rosemary James, lying in 2nd place after the first round, 16 points from the Mythology of the Norsemen, 27 to beat, and your general knowledge question starting now. In the British Royal House of Windsor, what's the significance of the date 21st April 1926?
It's when they took the name Windsor.
No, that's when the Queen was born. Which English county has as its motto, the knot unites, and a knotted rope as part of its emblem?
Staffordshire.
Correct. Which of Handel's oratorios had its first performance in Dublin in April 1742?
Messiah.
Correct. Who was a French explorer who founded Quebec in 1608?
Pass.
Takai, Weka and Kakapo are indigenous to New Zealand. What kind of creatures are they?
Lizards.
No, they're flightless birds. Nigeria is bordered by 4 French-speaking states. Name one of them.
Dahomey.
Yes, now Benin. In December 1972, a new Labour government was formed in Australia under whose leadership?
Pass.
Which Russian city, founded by Peter the Great, contains a Hermitage Museum?
Leningrad.
Correct. Charles Swann is a leading character in a long novel by which author? Charles Swann.
Pass.
What's the name of the gate, which is a memorial to British and Commonwealth forces who died at Ypres in World War I?
Admiralty Arch.
No, the Menin Gate. What is biscuit porcelain?
Porcelain that hasn't been fully fired.
Correct. Dryden's play, All for Love, deals with the same story as which of Shakespeare's plays?
Antony and Cleopatra.
Correct. To what event was William Pitt the Younger referring when he said, England has saved herself by her exertions and will, as I trust, save Europe by her example?
The American War.
No, Victory Trafalgar. What did Alexander the Great have built in memory of his favourite horse?
A city.
Correct. According to Genesis, Noah begat 3 sons. Name one of them.
Shem.
Correct. The plot of Britain's opera Peter Grimes is taken from which poem by George Crabbe?
Poem of the same name.
No, the Barra. Who was a French statesman who fought against Britain in the American War of Independence and in 1789 was given command of the National Guard during the French Revolution?
Pass.
What gas is formed when sodium reacts with water? And you may answer.
Sodium hydroxide.
No, it's hydrogen. And at the end of that round, Ms. James, you have scored 24 points. You passed on 4. The French explorer who founded Quebec was Samuel de Champlain. The new Labour government formed in Australia in 1972 was led by Gough Whitlam. Charles Swann is the leading character in The Remembrance of Things Past by Marcel Proust, and the French statesman who was given command of the National Guard during the French Revolution was Lafayette. Rosemary James, thank you very much. And our penultimate champion, please, comes from Ireland, top score winner there, from County Cork. John Mulcahy scored 15. on Irish history, recent history, July 3rd, 27 to beat. Your general knowledge question starting now. Under Bear Ben Bulben's head in Drumcliff churchyard, who is laid?
W.B. Yeats.
Correct. Where in Ireland would you find St. Kevin's cell and St. Kevin's bed?
In Glendalough.
Correct. When Abel Tasman discovered Tasmania in 1642, he named it after the governor of the Dutch East Indies. What was his name?
Van Diemen's Land.
Correct. Rise Up and Walk is the recent autobiography of which African clergyman and politician?
Pass.
The Canadian Parliament consists of two houses. One's called the Senate. What's the other called?
Pass.
What's the name of the main unit of currency in New Zealand?
The New Zealand dollar.
Correct. Which Scottish headland is closest to the coast of Ireland?
Mulcahy.
Correct. Hyderabad is now part of India. By what title were its former rulers known?
Pass.
One of the world's busiest airports is O'Hare International. Which American city does it serve?
Chicago.
Correct. Which Homeric hero was dressed as a girl to try to keep him from the Trojan War?
Pass.
How is an umlaut represented in modern German?
Pass.
What kind of creature is a dugong?
Pass.
Who was the governor of New York State from 1959 to 73?
Nelson Rockefeller.
Correct. Who was the metaphysical poet who wrote, "Death, be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so"?
John Donne.
Correct. Who composed the opera War and Peace?
Prokofiev.
Correct. Who in October 1963 succeeded Konrad Adenauer as Chancellor of West Germany?
Conrad Erhardt.
Well, I'll
Erhard.
accept it. It was Ludwig Erhard, in fact. Who was responsible for the Vermeer forgeries, which included the famous Supper at Emmaus?
Pass.
Buddha is said to have found perfect enlightenment while sitting under a tree. What kind of tree?
Pass.
What does the geological term orogenesis mean?
Mountain folding.
Correct. Mountain building. Which American president summarized his nation's foreign policy in the phrase, "Speak softly and carry a big stick"?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Correct. Which English artist studied anatomy at York, where he lectured to medical students?
Pass.
In which country of Western Asia is Farsi the native name for the principal language?
Pakistan.
No, Iran. Which former world heavyweight boxing champion? I've started, so I'll finish. Which former world heavyweight boxing champion who twice defeated Jack Dempsey died in November 1978?
Gene Tunney.
Gene Tunney is right. As you've no doubt guessed, Mr. Mulcahy, that gives you a score of 28 points. You passed on 9. Rise Up and Walk is a recent autobiography of Bishop Abel Muzorewa. The other house of the Canadian Parliament is the House of Commons. The rulers of Hyderabad used to be called Nizam. The Homeric hero dressed up as a girl to keep him from the Trojan War was Achilles. An umlaut is represented in modern German by 2 dots placed over the vowel. A dugong is a large aquatic mammal like a sea cow. The man responsible for the Vermeer forgeries was Van Meegeren. Buddha is said to have found perfect enlightenment sitting under a sacred fig tree. And the English artist who studied anatomy at York, where he lectured to medical students, was George Stubbs. John Mulcahy, thank you very much. Our final champion, please. Retired British ambassador, Jubilee Mastermind of 77, Sir David Hunt. Scored 11 on the Roman Revolution, 28 to beat, Sir David. Your general knowledge question starting now. In which British city is the National Railway Museum located?
York.
Correct. A room in the Palace of Westminster in London gave its name to a court frequently held there until abolished in 1641. What was the name of the court?
Star Chamber.
Correct. In Ireland, the ancient high kings held a triennial feis on which sacred hill?
Tara.
Correct. By which treaty did France cede Canada to Britain in 1763?
Treaty of Versailles.
No, the Treaty of Paris. Born in New Zealand in 1871, he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1908 for research in atomic physics. Who was he?
Rutherford.
Correct. What's the name of the main unit of currency in Nigeria?
The Kwacha.
No, the Naira.
Naira.
Where in Australia is the Mount Stromlo Observatory?
Pass.
What is the Italian name for the 16th century?
Cinquecento.
Correct. What name is given by both Oxford and Cambridge universities to the autumn term?
Hillary.
No, Michaelmas. Long johns are pants that cover the legs to the ankles. What are demijohns?
Bottles.
Correct. In Greek mythology, what was the fate of Ixion?
Tied to a wheel.
Correct. In what part of the human body is a trapezium bone?
Yeah.
No, the wrist. The porcelain produced by the state-owned factory in France is known by what name?
Saved.
Correct. A trebuchet was a medieval military engine. For what purpose was it used?
Throwing stones.
Correct. In Shakespeare's As You Like It, in which forest did Duke Senior and his followers take refuge?
Arden.
Correct. What is the principal feature of a legislature that's described as bicameral?
2 chambers.
Correct. Who said no man but a blockhead ever wrote except for money?
Dr. Johnson.
Correct. In a suit of armour, which part of the body was protected by a sabaton?
Feet.
Correct. Rum Jungle is a uranium mining centre in which Commonwealth country?
Australia.
Correct. What is Tanagra in Greece famous for?
Pottery.
Correct. The red wine Chianti is produced chiefly from grapes grown on the slopes of the Monte Chianti range. In which region of Italy? In which region of Italy is this range?
Region of Italy. Tuscany.
Tuscany is correct. At the end of that round, Sir David, you have scored 27 points. You passed on only the one. The Mount Stromlo Observatory in Australia is near Canberra in Australian Capital Territory.
Yes, I think I did know that.
Sir David Hunt, thank you very much. Well, that brings us to the end of the second round and the end of a simply splendid competition. And if we look at the scoreboard, we can confirm that there was a tie for second place between Barbara Ann Eddy from Canada and Sir David Hunt, the Jubilee Mastermind. But the winner, by 1 point, with 28 points, is a top score winner from Ireland, John Mulcahy. Well, our congratulations to John Mulcahy, and our congratulations and thanks indeed to all the champions, many of whom came from so far away to take part in this stirring contest. I'd also like to take this opportunity of thanking the Australian Broadcasting Commission, the Broadcasting Corporation of New Zealand, and Radio Telefís Éireann for all their cooperation and help. Well, now for the presentation of the trophy. The international trophy designed for us by Dennis Mann of Caithness Glass in Scotland, showing all the national flags and symbols of the contestant country. And waiting to present it to the winner is the head of BBC Television Outside Broadcasts, a man well known on the green swords of Australia, New Zealand, Canada and Ireland, Mr. Cliff Morgan.
Thank you very much, Magnus. A dear friend of mine once said that broadcasting, at its very best, does away with separation, but not separateness. It kills distance, but thankfully not difference. And it's exactly what International Mastermind has done. And Mastermind, which has been a family favourite in British Isles for many, many years, has now adopted the formula all over the world in many countries. And I'm delighted about that, as I am to say to you all, thank you very much on behalf of the BBC for taking part. That's what it's all about, really, isn't it, taking part? Because victory is never for all time, neither is defeat irreparable. But someone has to win, and it's John Mulcahy from Ireland, and it's a great pleasure for me, John, to say to you, congratulations. And when you sit down in Cork and look at that over the years, you'll think of this night when you won, but also that you've been with some nice people. Well done.
Lovely. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Cliff Morgan. Meanwhile, back here in the UK, we shall, of course, be back with our own national mastermind in the autumn. Until then, from Mastermind International at Guildhall in the City of London, it's goodbye. Well, thank you very much, Cliff Morgan, and I certainly do hope that we can look forward to more international masterminds in the future. Now, here in the United Kingdom, we shall, of course, be back with our own domestic mastermind series in the autumn. Meanwhile, viewers in Australia will see Hugh Evans return to the chairman's desk to present your next series of Mastermind, the winner of which we hope will be participating in the next Mastermind International. So from all of us here in this historic Guild Hall in the City of London, best wishes for another great series of Mastermind in Australia. But for now, from Mastermind International, it's goodbye. Trailers.
You need to get carried away after all this applause you have been doing. Please, can you save it for a bit later on, and Jim will fix it. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Magnus Magnusson, the chairman of Mastermind in the United Kingdom. I'm speaking to you from the historic setting of the Old Library Guild Hall in the City of London, a library that dates back to the time of Dick Whittington, who was one of its founders. But we'll shortly be adding another little paragraph to its history when we'll be recording, for the first time ever, an international mastermind. And this will include Australia's own mastermind, John Bond, who will be competing against title holders from the United Kingdom, Ireland, Canada, Nigeria, and New Zealand. So don't forget to join us for what promises to be a very exciting event indeed. See you then. Hello, I'm Magnus Magnusson, and you've just been looking at the first ever International Mastermind Trophy, a trophy that's been competed for here in the historic setting of the Old Library Guild Hall in the City of London. And we'll be adding a little more history to this great place shortly when we record for the first time the International Mastermind, which will include Australia's own mastermind, John Bond, competing against title holders from the United Kingdom, Ireland, Canada, Oh, shit.
You've done very well.
Yeah, just... I was losing it all the way. Hello, I'm Magnus Magnusson, and you've just been looking at the first ever Mastermind International Trophy, a trophy that's been competed for here in the historic setting of the Old Library Guild Hall in the City of London. Well, a little more history will be added shortly when we record for the first time this International Mastermind. It'll include Australia's own mastermind, John Bond, who'll be competing against other title holders from the United Kingdom, Ireland, Canada, Nigeria, and New Zealand. So don't forget to join us for what promises to be a very exciting event, Wednesday, 8 o'clock on ABC television. See you then. And good night. Thank you. You've just been looking at the first ever International Mastermind Trophy. So many other countries are now doing their own mastermind thing that we decided to hold an international challenge round here in the historic setting of the Old Library of the Guild Hall in the City of London. Title holders from Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Nigeria, Ireland, and the United Kingdom are all competing for this new International Mastermind title. So don't miss it. It's on BBC One as ever. See you then.